Welcome to the virtual gallery of the Quarantine Quilt. I am Cecilia Kopman, textile artist and quilting teacher, born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I decided to start the Quarantine Quilt project because I have experienced firsthand the healing power of art. In 2012, I underwent radiotherapy treatment. During the 37-session daily treatment, I embroidered one block a day. I had a playful and self-imposed rule. I'd only do it while in the waiting room. This meant if the wait was long, I could really get into it, but if the wait was short, I only embroidered a bit. It was a game in which embroidery became the protagonist and the treatment was relegated to the background. Blogging the new blog every morning enabled me to receive support from many people who encouraged me. By the end of the treatment, in order to bring closure, I joined the blocks into a quilt that left the bitter chapter of my life artistically captured. Having lived through this experience and realizing how healing art can be, it occurred to me to start a traditional block quilt that would accompany me during isolation and take me to a happy place, away from the feeling of uncertainty and worry. I trusted that focusing in color, form, and stitches would keep debilitating fears at bay. I shared my project in social media to help other people from around the world escape, at least for a little while, from the difficult times we were all going through. I based the first few blocks on the Patchwork Quilt Along by Fat Quarter Shop, who generously allowed me to share them. And later I went on to create my own. For 60 consecutive days, working together with my sister Clementina, I hosted live feeds in Instagram and Facebook where I showed how to make each block, how to sew them together, and how to finish the quilt. Often, my son Theo would play the piano while we sewed, making everything even more enjoyable. Day in, day out, I'd first cut the fabric, then I'd sew the blocks while taking pictures of every step, and finally I'd sew a second block live at 3 p.m. and I'd answer the questions of more and more people. During the live feeds, I'd always wear necklaces, which caught the eye of more than one of the viewers, and they didn't hesitate to ask about them. Shortly after, by popular demand, I taught them how to make one, adding to the project the quarantine necklace. And so the days went by, without my mind lingering on ugly and unsettling thoughts. We were in awe of how much the virtual gatherings kept growing and how diverse they were. More than 600 people from 26 different countries, all engaged regardless of their level of expertise. Some participated using other mediums like cartapesta, embroidered paper, origami, and painting. This diversity was more than welcome, given that the main aim was never to create masterpieces, but to keep each other company while enjoying the process.
Ceci and I love being together and have always been very close. We complement each other creatively, and this beautifully inclusive project of hers had us fully engaged. As a visual communicator, I set out to create a space to invite all the participants to share their work and experiences. Due to the growing scale of the project, it seemed less and less likely that we'd be able to gather at a party in Buenos Aires, in Houston in 2021, or in a book. And so the idea of this digital quilt was born.
While the project continued to take shape, Clemi and I thought of asking everyone who participated to mail me a 4-inch block of a little house. I would later put them together to make a single collective quilt to be shown in Houston 2021. Every Monday, I go to the post office to collect new blocks and then share the new treasured arrivals through social media. I've not only been receiving the blocks, but also with them come moving letters where they share their personal experiences. During the entire project that consisted of daily encounters, enriching conversations, learning, and finally the creation of this collective quilt, we formed a community of women who felt accompanied, encouraged, and stimulated, focusing in connecting pieces of fabric as well as with each other. This shows us the strength, the energy that women can generate when we find ourselves united in a common creative project.